I'm Gustavo Rasetti. I'm the CEO and founder of Fearless Culture. I'm going to walk you through the culture identity assessment. This assessment is meant to explain the type of culture you have at a macro level, so then we can zoom in into each of the elements to improve your team or company culture. So let me explain how it works. Before you jump into designing a house, you need to define the style. Are you looking for a contemporary modern house? Are you looking for something more functional, more efficient? Are you looking for something family friendly? Well, the same principles applies to workplace cultures. So this model identifies four pure types: tribal, fearless, fearful, and aggressive. Just a heads up, there's no right or wrong, and each company culture has a mix of them. The challenge is finding what's the right mix. I'm going to explain the key characteristics and also what happens when you take any of those types to the extreme. Tribal cultures are social in nature, they are people-oriented, they have a strong sense of belonging, very participative, so a lot of people in the meetings, a lot of people involved in decision-making, and they have a strong sense of cohesion. However, taken to the extreme, they can become too close, too nice. This could promote conflict avoidance, groupthink, everyone agreeing with everything too quickly, and also maybe slow decision making. Fearful cultures are more structured, more commanding. They are very efficient. They have a lot of processes. They have a lot of clarity, best practices, and also hierarchical in nature. Taken to the extreme, they tend to drive a purposeless culture. They're more about fear, more about control, lots of red tape, slow to move and make decisions, sometimes bureaucratic and low in innovation. So notice that I'm saying that even a fearful culture can innovate, right? Or that a tribal culture is extremely social or people-oriented doesn't mean that the others don't care about their people. We're talking about the extremes, right? Aggressive cultures are very demanding in nature, results-oriented, have a very high bar, and provide people with a lot of freedom and autonomy to make decisions so they can move fast. Taken to the extreme, they can become a cold environment, sometimes ruthless, because people are trying to focus on their individual goals over the company goals. Lots of competition, silos, and most of these companies tend to adopt a rank and yank system. So if you're not one of the AAA performers, you might lose your job. Lastly, fearless cultures are more idea-oriented, more visionary. They promote a culture of experimentation. They invite people to co-create, and also they involve them in decision-making, but they're not democratic in nature. So the decision-making is distributed similar to aggressive cultures. However, fearless culture can fail to land when they are always taken to extreme, always in innovation mode, ideation mode. They could be a little bit vague, maybe chaotic for some people, like prefer a more structure, clear roles and responsibilities. What we want to do with the assessment is understand what's your current culture, what's the mix, and then we can discuss what the ideal or better mix should look like moving forward. Some examples: a lot of CPG companies are more on the tribal. Southwest Airlines or IKEA are here. Many pharmaceutical, financial services, non-profit government organizations are on the fearful side. Aggressive, we have Netflix, Amazon, X, formerly Twitter, are here. And then Spotify, Pixar, Apple, Microsoft are on the fearless side. Microsoft used to be an aggressive company under Bill Gates, a lot of internal competition, and Satya Nadella was able to evolve the culture into fearless. What I'm saying is culture evolves and you need to be intentional. This quantitative tool, basically it's a questionnaire, 21 simple questions that your employees have to answer, will help you understand what's the mix. There's a dominant culture and a secondary culture. If you have a little bit of everything, then you don't have a clear culture. So basically, once you complete the questionnaire, what kind of insights and reporting could you expect? Let me share with you what a reporting look like. The report starts high level with the bigger picture. What's the dominant type of culture, as you can see in this example. We then break down results by level, by department. We can compare results across the different pockets of the organization and also explain what's driving each type of culture. In this example, in which the dominant culture is a mix of fearlessness and aggressiveness, we see that fearlessness is driven by the leadership style, this strong connection to purpose and innovation. The aggressiveness comes from what's rewarded and a prioritization of speed. We can also uncover what's not helping, what's working, what's not working. And talking about dimensions, the most important thing is, depending where you are and where you want to go, we need to understand the characteristics. So a tribal leadership is more of a mentor, facilitator. People perceive the leader being close to them, kind of a coach, while an aggressive type of leadership is more non-nonsense, about challenging the team, about wanting to win. The combination of all these factors is basically how your culture is perceived. So if you want to change the culture, then you can look into which of these elements you want to make either more tribal, more fearless, more aggressive. Here you can see the mix between the 4 types of culture and what's driving that. So each of these culture dimensions, from leadership, alignment, belonging, behaviors, decision-making, define the total type of culture. So if you want to be more tribal, then you can work on the areas already tribal and improve your work there. Or maybe you start increasing the level of tribalism into any of those other dimensions. It helps focus your energy depending on where you want to take the culture. Once you identify your current state, you can move in defining what's the ideal culture, what's the ideal mix. Reach out if you want a proposal and quote on how we can apply the culture identity assessment to your organization. And we also offer workshops to help you not only debrief the results, but help you define what's the ideal culture, what's the ideal mix, and what needs to happen, prioritizing action to make sure you build the ideal culture.